What is up, everyone? And I have got a pretty provocative topic to talk about today, as it says in the title below. And this is that enterprises will drive mass market adoption of NFTs and blockchain. So this whole argument actually came up I was down at Decentral in Miami, and there was a person there by the name of Christian Ferry. I might have butchered that last name. He is the CEO at NFT Pro, and he gave a talk that yeah, I mean that was the gist, right? That enterprises, will be driving mass market adoption. It's super provocative, right? Given where the movement is and how the philosophy of all of decentralization, where we came from and where we're trying to take the tech, like really punches back hard. And says that, like, look, while we created all this tech to help fight big business and centralization, that those same businesses are going to help drive our movement forward and drive that adoption to the world. This is a hot take, but like I don't necessarily disagree, right? He had a great line, is that enterprise brands will drive NFT mass adoption while creativity and experiences will be the cornerstone of its evolution. So there's a lot to unpack here. I'm going to get right into it, but we've seen a lot of big enterprise adoption coming in from the likes of Pepsi, Budweiser, the NBA. Nike just had like the huge acquisition. Budweiser did like its heritage can drop the other day. It sold out in under an hour, right? And there's over $3 million already of volume traded on it. It's very odd to see, right? And I had posted another video about why big brands are jumping onto the tech now, and the gist being that like the dollar signs are there, the market's proven, and therefore they're getting to it now. But again, what I want to stick on here is really just to kind of argue with myself, and that I do support this concept that big brands will drive mass market adoption. So like, what does that mean though? Like, so how are they going to drive this mass market adoption? And I think that it's really, really critical, right? Because what big brands have is legitimacy that can attract new audiences that would have never participated in the tech or in the space before. So the fact that you can get a brand like, say, Budweiser to get people to go and sign up, to go and sign up and buy an NFT, and these are people that may have never ever gone into the space before, is a pretty powerful tool, right? It's a pretty powerful tool in that they can make this happen, and this is good for the tech. Like, this is not a bad thing. Like, as much as we want to say about like these shit campaigns and like people just going on and like screw big brands for like just doing this stuff without any thought, and there's no there's no backbone to these. They're just money grabbing and like jumping on now. They're going to come to take advantage, like run away, yada, yada, yada. The argument goes on. Like, I get it. I understand that, right? But what we do have to look at is that there is a lot of upside in this, because, as of right now, the market that's actually purchasing and trading NFTs is really, really small, right? And we are the ones doing this. We are in that adoption curve. We are the innovators. Like, we're that small little piece are the ones that are doing it. What we have to do, and what the tech deserves, is that we have to establish this beachhead, right? Like, we have to give all of the people that would never participate or go and sign up for a wallet to buy an NFT, we need to give them some ground to land on into the space. And my opinion is that, and this is Corey's opinion, is that these big brands will help us do that. They will give these people that have never ever thought to go online and buy an NFT now, they will do that. And like, so what's so good about that? Like, why is that such a big thing? Because the future of where all of this is going, in this concept of digital value, it's not you don't flip a switch, right? Like, we as humans, it takes our brains a while to wrap around new concepts and new things that we did not grow up with, that we are not familiar with, and that we don't feel comfortable with. And so we can't just say, and this, I think there's a lot of the backlash around why this whole concept of the metaverse has gotten so much flack thrown at it. It's that it's such a leap. It's so far to like just to wrap your head around for a lot of people to think that like, okay, you're telling me that like one day I'm just gonna go and like slap on some goggles and then boom, you know, that's the rest of my life. Like that's such a far jump. And you know, there was a very similar thing like when AI started to get really big, everyone was like, oh my God, it's gonna take over the world. You know, AI is gonna become sentient. We got to fight back. Like that's so far out there, right? And now you know we're seeing that slow evolution and adoption of that technology, and it's like it's no different here. And the upside is that, you know, again, I'll say it, is that we have to create that entry point for mass market adoption from people that never would. And there's going to be a lot of people that are going to say like that goes against everything, like Corey, you know, screw you, like you're never going to get it, whatever. I totally get that, but from a much more macro point of view, it's that we need this in order to succeed in the vision where we're going. And that idea of the beachhead is that, you know, once like, so if I can get, you know, if I'm like, let's say the Budweiser thing, right, and I can launch this experience and I can get people that would have never ever invested, but they love my brand, they love my beer, and they go on and they sign up from like step 0 to step 1 to get a wallet, and they purchase this. What they have done is subconsciously committed and subconsciously adopted that yes, digital items can hold value. And that little switch is so incredibly powerful to the movement that we're pushing. And that's all you need. Like you just need them enough to get in, right? And that's, and you can see that similar before. I remember like way back in the day, like purchasing stuff online was like, don't give out your credit card. Like, oh my God, everyone's going to hack and do it. And now it's just second nature, right? And that's the same thing that's going on here. And so for these large brands that are pioneering into this, pioneering for them and for their size and scope into the space, that's doing a lot of great things. Like, of course, there's going to be negative externalities that come up. Of course, there's going to be some kickback that goes back. You know, I'm projecting and foreseeing that, you know, there is going to be a huge media blitz coming soon around like negative stuff for these brands that have launched and didn't put any thought. They were just the money grabbing ones. But the ones that like thoughtfully think through like what their strategy for, you know, for NFTs and stuff in the future will be, they're going to have so much more upside in the long run, right? And I think that, you know, I saw a YouTube from Gary Vee who kind of echoes the same sentiments, and it's pretty powerful stuff. So the argument is out there now, right? You know, the argument that, and you know, big enterprises and big brands are needed for us to succeed in the long-term vision of where all this is going. And I want everyone to keep that in that mind, that, you know, this isn't, it's not a battle, it's not a war, but, you know, and it's definitely not a race, it's a marathon. And our marathon is to get people to understand and adopt this conceptual shift for what the metaverse is and where all of this stuff is going to be. And the first steps is just getting that mass market, getting those people that would never do it on board. And I do think that big brands can help in that. And for us, like me and you and the people that are watching this, as creators in the space, like we can show them the path. Like that's what's so cool, is that a lot of the people that you know that I talk with from these larger businesses, they're like, tell us what we should be doing. Like tell us the right way to do this, how to do this responsibly. And this stuff is coming whether we like it or not. So it's not like, let's just lay down the banner of decentralization and be like, okay, fine, you know, let's go grab some dollars and help these companies do it. But by no means that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying and why I wanted to get this out there is that like this shift is happening and it's coming and we're not going to stop it. But what we can do is help make it right. We can show them the right way to do this. The general, the underground made this, and they are asking and they're saying like, how do we do this right? And we have the chance right now to show them. So, you know, I push everyone to do this. You know, some people in the space, when they see it, you know, they kind of like, you know, middle finger, screw you, go away. This is our stuff. But that's not the way to take it, right? Don't slice it that way. Don't build wall. We need to build bridges. So if someone in the space, like, help them, right? If a brand comes or you see a post, provide good feedback, say what they can do to do it right. We can't just chop them down, because if not, we're going to put ourselves in a uphill climb that's going to be tough, right? And that is the stance that, me personally, I think that we should all be taking, because at the end of the day, for us to achieve the vision and the scope that we all know that this technology and where this world is headed, in order to get that, we have to think long term, and we have to think strategy long term. And big brands right now play a critical role in helping us take those innovator and the adoption cycle to the early adopters, to the early majority, right? And getting that hump up is the hardest thing that the tech in the space has in front of us right now. And this is going to, if we play this right, we have a great chance to set up success for like years and really the whole future. So that's it. Again, I know that this is a pretty strong topic, and I don't know if it's like what the reaction is. I would guess that it might be a bit polarizing. Some people are totally against it. Some people are totally for it. I myself kind of, fall somewhere on that spectrum. But I do want to hear what you have to say below. So please leave some comments. I'd love to hear the feedback. If not, you can always reach out to me directly. I'd love to discuss this stuff. And that's it. So I ask you, do you think that enterprises will drive mass market adoption of NFTs and blockchain as a whole? I will leave you with that. And like I said, let us know. And Keith, do it, my boy.